Right, in terms of project management, the 4-day iteration, the morning of the first day until tea, we have covered the following. Right, this is what we've covered. Starting off with the basic definition of a project, which is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. Okay, right. Knowing that it has a definite beginning and an end, it can be terminated, and there are social, economic, or political impacts that outlive the project. We then looked at a PMIS, that being a project management information system, where we examined certain items, and that included the deliverable, the WBS, which stands for work breakdown structure, the tasks underneath those deliverables, combination of the deliverables and the tasks account for our work breakdown structure. We looked at resources, relationships between tasks, and the final milestone, which is the final deliverable. The example, of course, we used was a pool, and here's a diagram as a picture of more or less what we're dealing with. All right. Then we looked at the project phases, the starting, organizing and preparing, carrying out the work, and closing, and we discussed the various activities that are involved. But to get into more detail, what we did is we looked at 10 knowledge areas. They're the 10 knowledge areas of project management according to the project management book, body of knowledge, and then the 5 process groups. Those are organized either into a matrix, right? And the matrix will then show that the intersection of those items, would result in 50 processes that are involved. Okay. Those 50 processes are listed here as intersections of the various areas of the matrix. Remember, the left axis in the matrix are the knowledge areas of the project. The top axis, the x-axis if you like, are the process groups. So, for example, at the intersection of the planning process group and the time management, we're defining activities, sequencing activities, estimating resources, estimating durations, and developing a schedule. This is where you would do manually your forward and backward pass, your network diagram. This is where you would use your PMIS to actually break down your tasks into different components. That, of course, is also handled here under the work breakdown structure. So the point we're making here is simply that there is a breakdown of the different processes involved in project management. The D's here refer to the days that we will spend on that. Then what we did was we looked at the 5 phases of project management, the project initiation, planning, execution, performance and monitoring, and closure. We did a small exercise with that in which we looked at those 5 phases and various activities involved. And we said, for example, estimating costs for the project would be part of planning. Communicating with the project team would be part of execution. Writing up the project charter would be part of initiation, etc. So we need to be able to break those things down. Good. That's as far as we got on that score. We also spoke to a significant extent about lessons learned, the importance of lessons learned in a project, and we did a small template where we looked at, say, the pool project and decided that at the end of every single phase, what needs to be done at the end of every single phase, let's look at the pool project here, at the end of every single phase, say digging and excavating, we need to have a lessons learned session where we list the problem, the impact of the problem. We then decide on an action going forward, and as one delegate pointed out, is there not more detail here? And indeed, there can be an accountability column, who's responsible, plus there can be an appendix showing the cost breakdown and the cost overrun as a result of the problem. Then thereafter, what we did is we looked at a psychometric. We filled in a psychometric. Here's the paper version of the psychometric. All right, we filled it in on the psychometric over here. We filled in all these things. We came up with a different character profile, the reddest being our major character profile. And we are on the cusp now of discussing the different types. This is in respect of choosing your team and deciding on what your stakeholders are like, for example. And that would be involved in this part of the matrix, developing the human resource plan, acquiring the team, developing the team, etc. So much for the summary.